One, I'm Trisha Swenson here in the Vail Valley Live studios, along with
Heather Blackman. Nice to be inside and warm today on a very, very cold start.
your mom. They're in there because it's 0 degrees out there. But I'm trying something new. Yeah, I think Heather, you're definitely happy to be.
I feel very lucky right now.
So we don't really know what it feels like out there, but apparently 0 degrees out there, pretty much. So we'll kind of give you some ideas. Going to be going on with the weather today. We'll also let you know how to chat with us on Facebook page, our YouTube channel. Let us know where you're tuning in from. I know, John Bonner, one of our likes. He likes us a lot. He's usually chiming in from Florida. It's probably like 70 degrees there. It would be
Definitely not zero.
Yeah, it's not zero. My husband drove up to Vail Pass. He was on his way to Boulder this morning for work, and he said it was 9 below on the pass. And yeah, as I drove in from, I have a garage. You have a garage too.
Yeah.
And as we drove in, our temperature just started dropping. It was 5, kind of around like the Walmart exit. And then 0 by the time I got here.
I saw 2 degrees on the car, but still very cold. Very cold, especially for end of March here.
Yeah, for March 28th, we're wrapping up the month. That in like a lion, out like a lamb. I think we're going in like a lion. I think we're going to go out like a lion as well, compared to the forecast. But with these colder temperatures, the snow has stayed very consistent. And I mentioned that yesterday. And I ran into Ken Hovey. His wife's birthday was yesterday. Brandy and Ken went out and skied the afternoon. And I said, yeah, it was so good. It was kind of like that January snow. Because, in the spring, we typically see that freeze-thaw cycle.
Yeah.
And you were out there, too?
Yeah, I was shocked. I went out with my dad for a few hours for his kind of 7th day of the season. They're in town from Florida, so we've had this cold weather has not been, I don't think their thing either, but the snow was incredible. I was shocked. We didn't get out until maybe 2 o'clock, and so usually all that nice snow from the morning would have been gone, and it was powdery and light and fluffy and just very unexpected.
Yeah, so brave the cold temperatures because the snow is going to be that good.
Yeah.
And it is going to warm up today. So we'll give you some weather details right now. The weather brought to you by the outlets at Silverthorne. If you want to go shopping today, that could be a good option as well. Just go over Vail Pass. It'll probably be a little warmer than 9 below, like it was this morning about 6 a.m. And then you can find outlets on either side of the interstate at exit 205. But we're currently seeing some chilly temperatures, even up on the mountain, 2 degrees at Beaver Creek, 3 over at Vail. And it will, by late morning, we will see the 20s. And that was our daytime high pretty much yesterday. At one point, I pulled up my phone, probably around 2, 3 o'clock. It was 13 degrees in Vail at that time, and then about 18 over at Edwards. But then the sun started coming out, and things warmed up to about the 20s. But later on today, we're going to see a high in the 40s. It's hard to believe that we're going to have a temperature swing that much, but we will see that coming through.
Yeah, this is going to be a nice day. If you can just wait a little bit, maybe have an extra cup of coffee, enjoy this first hour with us. I think if you let it wait until about noon, 20s is quite nice.
Yeah.
And that'll be a nice way to enjoy the snow.
And we're going to see sunshine today. Probably the most sunny day will be today and tomorrow. Mostly sunny for tomorrow. A few more clouds start to roll through. And then our overnight loads are not nearly as bad. We'll see teens tonight. We'll see a high in the upper 40s, almost 50 for tomorrow. So that's when we start to see that freeze thaw cycle. So it gets warm, the snow gets kind of granular. We call it corn snow. I think it might need a couple of days of these temperatures for it to really get like that. But then it freezes overnight. It's a little hard packed in the morning, even though it's been groomed. It's just the nature of spring skiing. But then Friday, looks like we could see some snow. And they've got these thunder icons. Have you heard of thunder snow?
I heard you talk about this yesterday. This is the first time I've heard of it.
Yeah, so sometimes you'll hear it and you'll be like, was that thunder? And yeah, we get a little bit of that just with these crazy kind of temperature swings and everything. So we could get a little bit of that. But we're going to maybe see some good accumulation on a Friday. And this is cool because it could get us closer to our seasonal average of 354 inches of snow on Vail Mountain. Right now we're at 308. We got 1 inch new in the last 24 hours. And then we got over at Vail, and then 2 inches, no, 1 at Beaver Creek, and then 2 inches new at Vail in the last 24 24 hours. So 322 is our season-to-date total at Vail and 308 at Beaver Creek. So we'll keep our fingers crossed for this nice powder day.
Yeah, I've been watching this all week, and Friday still looks like the day. We have our calendars kind of blocked for maybe a few hours to sneak out and enjoy.
Really?
Some
Like
fresh.
you've
Oh,
already
yes.
planned it.
I think I talked about this on Saturday, and I went, Friday, interesting, and it's kind of kept on the calendar. Sometimes it
Yeah,
pushes,
yeah.
but I mean, 8 inches in the forecast at Beaver Creek on Friday, 9 at Vail. My fingers and toes are all crossed. This would be an
Okay.
amazing way to kind of get into the
Oh,
almost
yeah.
April, right?
Yeah, well, and you know what? And the daytime high on Friday, 34 degrees. So, probably a little bit drier snow if we keep that temperature for our daytime high. So we'll see. We'll see how it materializes. I'll believe it when I ski it. That's what I say, like you never know. But this has been the kind of season where you think you're going to get 2 or 3
Yep.
and you get 6. Like it's just been erring on the side to our favor, so we'll take it. So, but I want to thank the outlets at Silverthorne again for this weather and mount report. And, if you want to go shopping, this could be the day to do it. You can head on over there and then go out for a little bit warmer. And the driving should improve later today. The
Yeah.
traction law, we'll get to that in the report in just a little bit. But if you're going to go over Vail Pass, you maybe see a little bit icy this morning. And so we'll get to that in just a moment. Pay attention to the crawl at the bottom of the screen. It's going to let you know what's been groomed in the last 24 hours. But when we take it to a break, we'll come back with that road report and some Vail Daily headlines.
Hi, I'm Peggy Ziegler, fashion guru and stylist for the outlets at Silverthorne. I'm here to share with you an amazing place called the Colorado Welcome Center. We've got fabulous brochures on all the nearby places and towns and things to do right here while you're in Summit County and visiting the outlets at Silverthorne. And of course, pick up your Elite Savings Card booklet, offering you fabulous discounts and a rewards program too. See you soon.
Vail Summit Orthopedics and Neurosurgery is kind of a one-stop shop. We have everything in-house.
We have cast techs, MRI machines, x-ray of course right at the clinic, physical therapy right at our clinic.
I'm going to get to the bottom of what your diagnosis is with all the resources we have, and that's what we do.
At My Future Pathways, our mission is to be the helping hand that enriches and elevates the lives of youth and families of our valley so they can reach their full potential. Through our holistic approach, our tutoring service and programming strengthen our community, develop self-worth, create opportunities, and promote values. We are My Future Pathways.
We are back with Vail Valley Live on this Tuesday, March 28th. We got 1 inch of new snow over at Beaver Creek and 2 over at Vail in the last 24 hours. But we got the headlines today right now, so I want to let you know what's going on.
All right, so here on our homepage, first of all, check out that beautiful picture. So this is from the snow that we've had, just taking a look at snowfalls on a cold Monday in Beaver Creek. I was over there, like I said, yesterday. Really nice. It really was as good as this picture was, just cold. And then the state is attempting tax relief. So Colorado legislator working on ways to relieve taxpayers who face rising property valuations and the potential tax hikes. So this is continued over on A3 that you see right here, and it's Senate Bill 108 intended to head off the big hikes in tax bills. So if you want to learn more about that, make sure you grab your paper or head online today and check that out.
And also in local and regional news, a product of collaboration, Innovative Housing Opportunities initiate grant awarded to Town of Eagle for Habitat for Humanity's 16-unit housing project. That was a big thing when we were at the Habitat Ball. They were raising money for it, and they got $850,000 to put towards it. That doesn't cover it all. There's a lot more that needs to be done.
It's quite amazing, though. And then the Shift Runs events. I know that Trisha had a segment on this yesterday that you probably saw, but this is a picture of them in all of their purple, the ALS participants gathering at Steady's Deck on Vail Mountain for a group photo during the 2022 event. So this is an annual fundraiser helping to raise money to support those living with ALS. And so look for these out on the slopes today as they're, I think it's 20 runs or,
Yep.
20 runs in one day to raise money and awareness for those living with ALS. So lots more information in the paper.
Yeah, and they're going to be doing an après party. If you can't go skiing or it's too cold for you, you can go to the La Cucina, and that's in the Lodge at Vail. They've run their après party from 3 to 7. And then Vail Yeti closes out a successful season, and the new owner is very pleased with the team and excited for next year. So they had their final game of the home game, 8-3 against the Breck Vipers. That was last Friday. Then they went over to Breck for that other matchup. They split the venues when they play Summit County.
And then wrapping it up, I love this segment in the paper every day. So our hashtag Vail Live. Remember, if you tag your Instagram photos with that hashtag, you might have a chance to get featured in the paper and then maybe even here. So you'll see in the middle that little free library Vail. I love these. So there are back. Thank you to everyone who's been filling the little libraries while we're away. This is by Rocky Mountain Taco. Really fun. And then at the bottom, that Town Talk, this one you can actually send in a photo with a caption to towntalk@vaildaily.com, and then that's another way to kind of share celebrations and birthdays and things like save the dates that you've got on there. So always a fun way to see your face in the paper here in the Vail Daily.
All right, yep, and you can pick up your copy. It's in newspaper dispensers from Eastville all the way down to Gypsum, or just go online. You're gonna find breaking news there, maybe when those road closures happen, maybe by Friday, we'll see that. But speaking of the roads, here's what's going on with the roads right now. There is a passenger vehicle traction law in effect, and what that means is you need to have good snow tires to get you up and down the passes. The chain law is not in effect this morning, but the traction law was in effect not only for Vail Pass, but for Battle Mountain Pass and Tennessee Pass if you're going on Highway 24 on your way down to Leadville. But otherwise, the valley floor looking pretty good. I know I had a pretty easy drive in.
Yeah, very easy as well.
You know, so traffic looks pretty smooth. Officers Gulch, that's between Copper and Frisco. And then, but Vail Pass Summit, you could see, yeah, a lot of snowpacked and icy. And that's basically the situation all the way to Georgetown. And then it improves from there. But with this sunshine today, that will burn off, but then it can always refreeze overnight. And that Officers Gulch section, that is a tricky spot because there's a lot of shadows in there. And speaking of shadows, wow, you know, when we see that sun glare, especially with the sun getting a little higher in the sky, our days are getting longer. You're going to want to make sure you top off that windshield wiper fluid as well. But that's a quick look at what's happening with your roads and your Vail Daily Report. But a few of the things going on today, we've got the Walking History Tour, and that is at 11 a.m. And it's donation-based. It's a $10 donation per person. That's encouraged. And you meet at the Colorado Snow Sports Museum, Hall of Fame right there. Maybe get there a little bit early, maybe 10 minutes early just to get on the tour. But that's a fun thing to learn about our area and just how Vail's, you know, evolved in the last 60 years.
Yeah, absolutely. And plus I think in general, even if you're visiting, this is such a great way to just learn about the area you're visiting. And there's so much history that would definitely be something you can learn about on this tour. If you want to go inside, I do have to plug this donations-based meditation. So this is at Anahata, and Chelsea does a lovely job with this. This is fireside, by the way. There's this giant stone fireplace. So if meditation or just kind of slowing down and being a little bit more internal, it sounds like a nice way to start your day. That's at 10 a.m. at Anahata. So donations-based. You can just kind of walk in. You don't have to have a reservation, although you can. And a portion of those donations go to the Community with a Heart Scholarship Fund, which allows others in the community who maybe can't afford yoga to be able to participate.
And then another thing you can do outside, we are bringing the guided snowshoe trails over to the Betty Ford Alpine Gardens. This is just a little bit to the east of Golden Peak. And they have a free nature walk. and it's a free introduction to Colorado's natural world. You'll join a naturalist, and then they'll take you through. It's not very far, and it's actually that's going to be in at Walking Mountains at the Avon Tang campus location. So that'll be at 10:30 to 11:30, and then up on Beaver Creek Mountain, ski with the ranger. This is something they've been doing for a while. Beaver Creek teams up with the team from Walking Mountains, and you'll meet a volunteer Forest Service ranger, and then they're going to take you around kind of the Chair 8 area, and that goes from 1:30 to 2:30, and that allows you to kind of view the flora and the fauna. Maybe just kind of want to mix up your afternoon. It's just a nice way to break things. So this is a free offering. And Chair 8, that's the Cinch Express, which is you go up Centennial Express, and then Chair 8, that brings you to patrol headquarters, the high point on Beaver Creek Mountain. So bundle up for this one this afternoon. But by 1:30, I think it might be pretty comfortable to be out there and enjoying things.
And I think the cookie cabin is there now, although I haven't been in. So you
Yeah.
could go ski with the ranger and grab a cookie.
Well, I know, but I think that's only for ski school kids.
Oh, darn. Okay, well, this is
Yeah.
why maybe I haven't been. I've been wanting to go.
If you've paid for ski school, you actually get a cookie during the day. You don't have to wait for the free ones at 3 o'clock. But a few things happening this afternoon. We've got Frost Bar with Opera Ski. Matt Garth is going to be playing Down Valley at the Drunken Goat in Edwards. The Kachina, I don't think they'll be doing their regular. They're going to have Nick and Nat playing today because they're doing that Shift Runs event. So they won't have their regular Tuesday Opera Ski people. But down at the Weston Riverfront Resort and Spa in their lobby bar, the Lookout Lobby Bar, Turntable Review Duo. They're always fun to listen to. And then Bingo Night at the Rabbit Hole.
I saw this. This sounds like a really fun way. If you guys have never been to a bingo night, I know it sounds like something that your mom or your grandma did, but it is actually a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And it's a really unique event. I think eat, drink, and win some great prizes. I mean,
Well,
that sounds like a fun
yeah.
Tuesday night.
Yeah, I know. And I think the bingo is free. And then you just come and you can pay for drinks, pay for food. And then they're going to have a guy by the name of Matt Giannetti. He's going to be your hysterical host for the evening. So that could be fun to do. That's between 6 and 8. And that's kind of a nice thing to do to maybe just kill some time if you've got a later reservation, or you're going to go out late night for some of the things that are going on. And then that Shift Runs event, this is going to start up at Steady's Deck. It's named after Dr. Stedman, who passed away. So when you're going from Chair 2 back to the Eagle Bond Gondola, that's Eagle's Nest Ridge. So Steady's Deck is going to be just right off the right, kind of above Picaroon.
Yeah.
They're going to have Village Bagels up there right now at 9 a.m. And then they're going to have their group photo at noon, and then they'll bring the party down to Kachina. And they've got a lot of great lodging gift cards. So Four Seasons, the Sun and Alp. I know that they had, what was the other one in there? They had some great lodging, and then the food was like everything from Drunken Goat.
Oh, nice.
And Alpine Pizza Company, which is the Lion's Head, Rocky Mountain Taco, Alpine Rose. So it's, for just a small fee, to get in and to do these runs with them, and 20 runs.
Yeah, that is a lot.
That's a good challenge.
Absolutely.
Because when you guys go out, how many runs?
Oh, you know what? This is the benefit of a season pass.
Totally. It's
I mean,
like
it could be
3.
as it could be 3 or 1, or depending on the day, or but definitely not 20.
Yeah, but I think that's cool. I wonder what route. I mean, would you stay front side? Would you go
Yeah.
back side today? Yeah, you could get a lot of runs. They can get a lot of runs right around that Steady's Deck area. Chair 2, there's a lot of fun runs right in that area. So runs for the number 4 ALS.org is where you can get some more information if you want to. If it's last minute, you decide to sign up. And ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease, it hits quick. I've known people that have had this, passed away from it. So this is what they're doing is raising money for grants to help people living with ALS be able to pay for some of the care and everything. It gets expensive. So this is just trying to help that out. So that's a look at kind of what's going on today. What a packed Tuesday.
I know that is a lot of events on a Tuesday night. So
Yeah.
there's no excuse to be bored.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we've got more coming up. You know what? And one thing we do have coming up is Ask the Doc. It's a segment that we do here on our show. We talk to the different doctors of Vail Summit Orthopedics and Neurosurgery. So let's find out more with Dr. Dorf.
Love to do. So if you've dislocated your shoulder multiple times, yeah, you probably are going to need surgery on this. If you've dislocated, good morning, my name is Eric Dorf. I am an orthopedic surgeon with Vail Summit Orthopedics and Neurosurgery. I'm here with Vail Valley Live to do some question answering. We've had some questions submitted and I'm excited to get started. My specialty is upper extremity surgery. I do primarily hand, elbow, and shoulder, but of course in the wintertime, we take care of all sorts of injured athletes, including tibias and femurs and hips and ankles, and I'm excited to be here. Okay, we have all of our questions which have been submitted from the studio audience in our handy dandy Lang XT90 blue boot. What is a rotator cuff patch? Is there any benefit to the patch over traditional surgical repair? That's a great question. Rotator cuff surgery is one of my favorite operations. I love it. Patients do great. One of the most difficult things with rotator cuffs is that some rotator cuffs are completely torn and some of them are partially torn. Well, when they're completely torn, the decision making is easy. We just fix the rotator cuff. But what do you do with a rotator cuff that's partially torn? In those instances, sometimes we'll actually complete the tear and then fix the rotator cuff. Other times, before we had the patch, we didn't have any other options, so we would just leave it alone and hope that it wouldn't get worse. Well, the rotator cuff patch actually gives us the opportunity to put the patch on top of a partial thickness rotator cuff tear, and then the rotator cuff actually invades that patch and grows together and gives us a great option for patients who have a partial thickness rotator cuff tear. It's completely changed my practice and I love it. I've dislocated my shoulder multiple times. Should I give up snowboarding? The answer to that is absolutely not. The reason we do take care of patients who have dislocated their shoulder is so that we can get them back to the sports that they love to do. So if you've dislocated your shoulder multiple times, yeah, you probably are going to need surgery on this. If you've dislocated it more than once and you're young, almost for sure you're going to have to end up having an operation on this. So there are a number of things that we can do. One of them is we get you into physical therapy to work on strengthening some of those muscles around the shoulder so that it doesn't dislocate as easily. There are braces that we can wear. So for example, if you're in the middle of your season, you don't want to give up your season, we can get you in a brace and then perhaps get your shoulder fixed in the spring. And then of course, shoulder surgery for dislocated shoulders is a really very successful operation. What is wide-awake hand surgery and who qualifies for it? That's a great question. We do wide-awake hand surgery for anybody who needs basically a minor procedure that is anywhere between basically here and here. So skier's thumb, fractures of the hand, fractures of the fingers. There's a lot of elective surgery that they do wide awake, and basically it's anybody who doesn't want to go to sleep for their procedure. Another reason I really love wide awake hand surgery is we can talk to the patients during the operation and tell them what we're doing, show them what we're doing. They can see how much we care about what we're doing and what a detailed job we're doing and trying to make them better. So it keeps everybody in the operating room on their toes. And the patients really seem to love it. And they don't have to have any anesthesia, so they're awake and they leave the operating room and then they go back home in 15-20 minutes and no effects of anesthesia. It's great. I fell and jammed my thumb. How do I know if this is just a sprain or something serious like skier's thumb or a fracture? So that's a great question. How do you know if something is serious? There's a couple of things. People always say, oh, well, I could move my hand, so I knew it wasn't going to be a serious problem. That's not necessarily true. Anytime you've got a lot of swelling, I think that's an indication that there's a structure that's been damaged in there. So that's one thing that can give you a sense that, okay, there's something really bad that's going on. If you've lost sensation in your tips of your fingers, that might be something you would want to get looked at. If, on the other hand, you're using your hand pretty normally, it didn't swell up, it's not big and black and blue, then that's probably something you can wait and see. Ice, anti-inflammatories, immobilize it for a couple of days with a simple brace if you've got access to something like that, and see how it goes. For the most part, we're available all the time to take care of these little minor bumps and bruises. If you're concerned or if you're here on vacation and you want to get something looked at, we've got an office in Vail. We can certainly get you in, take a look at it, get an x-ray, make sure we're not dealing with something. And then you can sometimes move forward with a little more confidently with your vacation or with your season, knowing that you don't have an injury. Skiing is aggravating my tennis elbow or my elbow tendonitis. At what point should I consider surgery? First of all, conservative management for tennis elbow is a very effective treatment. So we oftentimes start with something very simple like a brace. And come on in, I can show you exactly which brace we use for that. Injections for tennis elbow work really well. So a lot of times we can get you through, or at least get you through the acute phase of tennis elbow with an injection. We send a lot of patients to physical therapy for tennis elbow or lateral epicondylitis. That does really well. Surgical management is really reserved for people who fail all of these conservative treatment modalities. Another option that we have for patients who don't want to do surgery is PRP. So we do PRP in our office. We've got a great guy who does biologics with us, Dr. Matt Nurkey. So I send a lot of patients to him before we proceed with operative management. And somebody who fails all of these different treatment modalities would then be probably a candidate for operative management of their tennis elbow. The downside of surgery for tennis elbow is that there is a significant amount of time off, and people around here do not like to take time off. So we try to treat these as conservatively as we can and move to surgical management of these overuse injuries only when we really need to. This is Eric Dorff. I'm orthopedic surgeon with Vail Summit Orthopedics, and this has been the Ask the Doc segment with Vail Valley Live. Thank you very much for all of your questions. I hope that you got some answers.
Vail Summit Orthopedics and Neurosurgery stands for providing the highest quality of care to our unique patient population here in the mountains.
I think that what makes us unique is that we really are practicing groundbreaking techniques, yet, we practice it in a small town environment. Our patients are our neighbors and our kids go to school with their kids.
I think every one of our docs treat their patients like their family. Our goal is to keep you active, doing the things you want to do, and we'll map out a road to success to get you there.
Love is in the air at the outlets at Castle Rock and Silverthorne. And we are going to wow you with some of the fabulous looks that we have to share with you today from J. Crew and Adidas. Let's take a look. Here's Rachel in J. Crew. I love her navy preppy blazer with striped lining, striped pink tee, amazing white jeans, white sneakers, and gorgeous pink ribbon earrings. With her savings card booklet, it'll be $197, saving $316. Here's Enza in J. Crew Kids with her denim jean jacket, her heart filigree tee, sweetheart leggings, heart necklace, and her white slip-on tennis shoes. Full outfit $101 with her savings card booklet. Wow, Liv, you look amazing in J. Crew sportswear line. From her fabulous striped button top, pink leggings, fleece jacket, pearlized headband, fingerless gloves, and her amazing tennis shoes with the pink and copper colors, all from the internet return. Her outfit, $145 outlet, fabulous. Kate is in Adidas in her pink hoodie, pastel leggings, black tote, and her white and pink running shoes. Her whole outfit would come to $138. Okay, Rachel, you look fabulous in your amazing full-length bubble coat from Guess. You've got your fabulous hoodie with the faux fur, and look at those adorable pearl gold shades. Whole outfit with the shades, $138. Here's Kate in Adidas with this black cropped jacket, $42. It's 40% off of their jackets. Here's Liv. She's in Guess in the most amazing puffer jacket with fleece detailing inside the hood. Love the black belt and the sunglasses. Jacket reduced to $65. And her shades are only $45 from $90. Love is in the air at the outlets at Castle Rock and Silverthorne. And just a reminder, be sure and pick up your savings card booklet at the outlets at Castle Rock in the food court, at customer service, and the outlets at Silverthorne at the Colorado Welcome Center. Love is in the air, and so are the discounts that you're going to find in the savings book. See you soon.
This Weather and Mountain Report is brought to you by Vail Summit Orthopedics and Neurosurgery, keeping you active. Welcome back to Vail Valley Live on this Tuesday, March 28th. As we wind down the month of March, we've got some chilly temperatures to tell you about this morning. It was 0 pretty much when we were driving in, and very cold, but it's going to be warming up.
Hey, we can look ahead to all those nice warmer temperatures.
Yeah, and even throughout the day, I mean, we're going to start out chilly, but I think if you even wait just an hour, maybe, well, yeah, by 9 it will be 10 above 0, which will be good. So So we're looking at sub-zero temperatures on Vail and Beaver Creek. But as we get into the afternoon, we're going to see highs near 40 degrees. But the overnight lows dropping down back into the teens, and then but sunny today. So enjoy that. That'll make a huge difference even when you're just sitting on the chairlift. So just maybe take a little time before you get out there. Lift's open at 8:30. I know they're opening in a half an hour, but maybe this is one of those mornings where you kind of sit in, maybe have a longer breakfast and hang out with us until we wrap up the show. But tomorrow we'll see more of the same, sunny conditions, and then by Thursday we'll start to see the breeze come in. We'll have gusts up to about 40 miles per hour. I noticed a lot of drifting snow
Yes.
on the roadways this morning.
I didn't see that as well. Absolutely. So just something to be aware of.
Yes, and then for Friday, that could be the big snow day.
Yeah, like I said, my calendar's blocked. So if you have some flexibility on Friday, make that your day to get out in the snow.
Yeah, like even on this report, it's saying possibly 3 to 7 daytime snow accumulation. We did get 1 inch of new snow at Beaver Creek in the last 24 hours and 2 inches over at Vail. And then this is what the prediction is. Maybe we'll get 8, 9 inches possibly at Beaver Creek and Vail out of that storm that comes through on Friday. And we'll just see if it materializes. And then a little bit on either side of it, bringing that 5-day total to possibly 11 inches for both mountains. And you know what? If we got 11 inches on Vail, that would bring us up to 333 at 333 inches season to date. I'm not saying we have that. We have 322 right now. If we get this,
Yeah.
then we could maybe reach that daytime, that year total, average total of 354 inches.
Which that's also really good as we start to go into spring and what that means for our rivers. So that would be fantastic.
Yeah, we'll take it. We'll take all the snow we can get. I know a lot of people are getting kind of sick of it. I'm just happy, like, when the lifts actually close, then I want it to stop snowing,
I'm the same way. So as long as the resort is open, I'm happy for there to be powder days every day.
Yeah. But once that lift stops, and we are stopping the lift, Beaver Creek on April 16th, and then April 23rd is Vail. But you know what was interesting is the Vail Daily had a pretty cool article that talked about some of our longest seasons. And last year was kind of touted as like, oh, the longest season in history. But really, it wasn't. And a reporter, John LeConte, went into this. And so the 1997-98 season, that was actually the longest, opening up on the 11th, on the 7th of November, closing on May 3rd. I think it was an extended season, 178 days. And then we had the 2-day, the 95-96 season was actually 2 days longer, because 96 was a leap year. They were open on the 11th of November, closing on May 1. So it's kind of interesting to look at what's going on. Now, Heavenly, our sister resorts over in Tahoe, they did extend. So Heavenly is going to stay open at least weekends through May 7th, North Star through April 30th, and then Kirkwood through the weekends of May 12th, and then Copper Mountain just across the Vail Pass say that they're going to stay open until May 7th. I'm pretty confident that Vail is not going to change.
Yeah, no, you're probably right. But it's always, if you want those later times, you can always go down to A Basin or Copper, one of those when we're closed here. And then, hey, we can start to have warmer temperatures.
Yeah,
we can enjoy it knowing that the mountain's closed.
We want it to melt. The golf courses are supposed to open up like mid-April. That's not. I don't think it's going to happen.
That seems a little crazy right now.
I was talking to someone that at Frost Creek, and they said, "Yep, probably won't." I know Sun and Alp's trying to open. Usually Eagle Ranch.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're doing the ski and tee. You're skiing in the morning. You're golfing in the afternoon. Even in March. Not the case. There's a lot of snow that we have going on. But a good day for groomers. You can take a look at the bottom of the screen here. We've got plenty of groomers for you to do. This is the Beaver Creek side. You can see a lot of those upper red Buffalo Park with Powell, Piney, Zoom Room. I love Zoom Room. Not that I go off any of those rails, but I like the whoopie-doos. That's kind of fun. But that's kind of good. So take a look at those. But I can't believe it's already March 28th.
I know, it's crazy. It's crazy. It's just flying by.
But a few things going on tonight at the Villar Performing Arts Center, and you're going to this.
Yes, I'm very excited about this. So tonight is the Tel Aviv Wind Quartet with pianist Yaron Kolsberg. I am always terribly sorry if I mispronounce names, but this is going to be an amazing event. So this is in the May Gallery. So as opposed to being in the main theater, when you walk in the front doors, over to the left is this beautiful smaller gallery. And it's kind of a special event when they do things in here. So there's actually a reception at 6. There's no point to get there early. I did this last time, and it does not open until 6. And then they have wine and hors d'oeuvres that are served. And then the show actually starts at 6:45. And it's a very intimate setup. There's just a couple of rows of chairs and a couple of tables that are set up in there. And so you are up close and personal with the artists. And it's just a wonderful way to enjoy the event. So this was a group that was started in 2009. By young Israeli musicians, and they travel all over now.
Yeah.
So really going to be a special activity tonight. And if you're there, give me a wave, say hi.
Well, you know what? You hear a lot about string quartets or quintets, and so this is wind with the oboe, the bassoon, the clarinet, the horn, the flute. So just really, it's going to be a fantastic sound. And to be in the May Gallery, that is a very intimate setting. It's a little higher of price point with a ticket, but like you were saying before, you're going to get your wine, you're going to get really good hors d'oeuvres. So it is a great experience. And just anything at the Villar, I mean, you really aren't going to be disappointed. So we've got that tonight. And then on Thursday, we're bringing in Garrison Keillor. Garrison Keillor tonight live. So that is going to be the show. And he's going to do some stand-up. He's probably going to do a little singing. And for many people that, if you're not familiar with Garrison Keillor, he was on Minnesota Public Radio for about 40 years. And, he just has this kind of dry sense of humor, this slower delivery, and he talks about this fictitious town of Lake Wobegon. And so I went to college in Minnesota, so we knew all about Garrison Keillor and everything. So this is funny, and his topic right now is old age. And it brings the contentment of less is more, and your big mistakes and big ambitions are behind you. You have nothing left to prove, and just the small things that give you the great pleasure, because that's what's left. So it's kind of just a funny take on him growing older. I think he's, in his low 80s right now, or early 80s. So this should be fun. They've got a student ticket for just $25 for those 22 and younger with a valid ID, and then reserved seating starts at $35. And this is part of the pick 3, 5, or 8 winter packages. And I know we're kind of running out of time, but still, if you're picking 3 shows, you could do today, and then we've got a few more coming up later this season. After this, we're going to be bringing out, we've got Colorado, the Cirque Flip Fabrique. They've got a couple shows coming up. And
KT
then
Tunstall. I'm going to that one as well.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, I know. Did you participate in the by 3, 5, or 8
I
shows?
should have, because I definitely have been to more than that.
Think
but
you're going to
no,
be
I did
going
not.
to 8 shows this year.
That's probably true.
So April 6th, an evening with KT Tunstall, that'll be going on. And then April 14th, we still have the Wood Brothers. So that'll be closing weekend, the Friday of Beaver Creek's closing weekend. And then we really do kind of round out the event at that point. And then we have summer to look forward to, okay? Because we already have a few shows already listed. So Toad the Wet Sprocket, if you remember them from the 90s, June 30th. And then Nitty Gritty Dirt Band, playing your classics, July 15th. And then an evening with David Sedaris, that'll be on July 19th. Pink Martini is coming back. They're going to be featuring China Forms. That's a fun one. And then Rain, a tribute to the Beatles. I mean, they've got a huge lineup already for summer. So we're looking forward to, and that's indoors.
Yes.
And we also have a lot of great concerts coming to our great outdoors. Even 2 weeks from now, Easter weekend, we're going to be
Yes.
having some concerts outdoors at the Gerald R. Ford Amphitheater. Normally, we're not in there till typically June.
Yeah.
Last year, we had a couple of concerts, like Michael Franti came. And another country music artist came. So we had that going on. But normally, we're not in the Villar the Ford Amp till summertime.
Yeah.
And Bravo is coming back. So we have a lot of things to look forward to for sure.
Absolutely. And if you want to kind of staying on the Beaver Creek side, just head down the hill to Avon. That's where tonight you could take the Opry Ski Lounge. That's still going on. Really, really cool space. It's these giant whiskey barrels that you can actually do your opera inside of. So this is about $90 or to $110 for the seating, and it's a special kind of setup there with dining and drinking, and the barrels are heated, so you're not going to be too cold in there. But it's from 1 to 5 on the Stoke and Rye patio. So right there at the Westin, and there's basically 2 different experiences that you get to choose from.
Yeah, so the Stoke and Rye folks have come up with different tastings, whether it's burrata, some oysters, remember beef tartare, and then if you do the extra course for $110, you get the bread pudding, and then they're mixing this with basically 4 different types of their whiskey, and I think Colorado Stranahan's is the first distillery that opened back up after
I think
Prohibition.
that's right, since Prohibition, yeah.
Yeah, so it's on their website, but it's a Colorado whiskey, so they're down in Denver, but they assembled these barrels. They literally constructed these barrels, but they're super cute, great experience, and they're only around until April 2nd.
Yeah, so that's just Sunday. So you really, time's running low. So if that's something that sounds exciting, definitely time to make your reservations.
Yeah, definitely get out there and do that. But hey, how's your skiing looking? If you are wanting to kind of get your turns looking better or that kind of thing, we've got some ski tips for you from Michael Friedberg.
Hi, I'm Michael Friedberg. I'm a former U.S. ski team athlete and former program director at Ski and Snowboard Club Vail. I've done a lot of coaching and even more skiing over the years, and I'm excited to share some of my knowledge with you guys. All right, let's talk about moguls. Now, moguls was the discipline I skied World Cup on, but there's a lot of value in knowing how to ski moguls because on any ski day, you are going to encounter moguls. You might not encounter gates, you might not encounter other things, but you are going to encounter moguls. And I think the biggest barrier to skiing moguls successfully is knowing where you should be in the terrain. So first we're going to start with some body position drills, then we're going to talk about reading terrain and how to look at moguls. So to start with, we're going to talk about stacked body position. And this is really crucial in the moguls. You're going to want a lot of pressure in the front of your boots. So think deep ankle flexion. Knees over toes, hips over ankles, shoulders over hips, arms extended, where we've got a nice bit of range between our elbow and our body pillar. Hands slightly wider than shoulders, nice and open, chin up so that we can focus. Vision is important in moguls. You want to be looking at least 3 or 4 moguls down the hill. All right, so the most important thing to skiing moguls successfully is being able to read the terrain. And by reading the terrain, I'm talking about being backside oriented. So when you look down the mogul line, the part that's coming up and across the hill is the front side of the mogul, and that looks intimidating, and there's absolutely nothing we can do with that terrain. What we're looking for is the smooth lines formed in between the moguls, and a way to unlock that piece of terrain is to think about a bullseye on the crest of each mogul, just past the top of it. And what we're gonna do is orient ourselves to the backside by, from that stacked body position, clearing the front side of the mogul with the pole plant, planting. The pole plant cues our body to move and up and over the new downhill ski. So right now, I'm pressuring my right leg going left. I'm gonna plant, bring my hips up and over the left foot, up and over the right foot, left foot, right foot. Moguls can be intimidating, but with the right body position and focus on being backside oriented, they can also be a lot of fun. Thanks for watching the tutorial. If you guys have any questions or comments, please leave them for us in the comment section. Thanks a lot and have some fun out there.
We believe in the power of a live performance. We believe in making memories together. Join us as we celebrate 25 years of making moments that last a lifetime. Bringing concerts, comedy, Broadway, classical, dance, and family entertainment in the heart of the Rocky Mountains in Beaver Creek Village. View the full lineup and get tickets today at villarpack.org.
Moet Vending for life's spontaneous, festive moments. Celebrate at the Grand Hyatt Vail.
Welcome to Nap Harvest. We are showcasing healthy habits, and you can start right here feeding your family healthy organic vegetables and fruits that are seasonal and local. They're all the way from Arizona with our wonderful, beautiful citrus fruits that we sneak across the border for. But don't forget our nap mushrooms. Grown at 9,000 feet, mushrooms are chock full of benefits for you. And then also the microgreens, also chock full of vitamins. Come see us at Nap Harvest in Eagle Ranch on Sylvan Lake Road next to Color Coffee. We're open 7 days a week, Monday through Friday, 10 to 6, Saturdays and Sundays, 10 to 4.
This Weather and Mountain Report is brought to you by Grand Hyatt Vail, Hyatt's newest luxury resort in Vail.
Hey, we are back. I want to let you know about the weather for today, this Tuesday, the 28th of March. It feels like January out there. It's rather chilly for you, but the good news is we're going to see quite a warm up today.
Absolutely.
Big swing in temperatures from where we start this morning to later on. In fact, later on we could be at 39 degrees. So wait a little bit. So right around, 8 o'clock right now, we're just seeing the single digits. By 10, we'll be in the upper teens, and by 11, probably 20. And then by this afternoon, we'll kind of top out 35, 40 degrees, and that sun is going to feel good out there. The sunniest day of the week so far. We will have a little bit of wind, some east wind, 5 to 10 miles per hour, becoming westerly in the afternoon. And then tonight, we'll drop down into the teens again. And then as we look at the next couple of days, sunny again tomorrow, a few more clouds starting to build, but what we're looking at is Friday. It looks like we can see some snow then.
Yeah, no, that's definitely what I'm excited about. That forecast has been holding steady since Saturday, so fingers are crossed. Maybe we'll see about 8 inches at Beaver Creek and Vail on Friday. So mark those calendars if you can get a little hall pass to get some skiing in.
Yeah, I know. She's already got her calendar booked off.
Hey, I'm just trying to share the love. So
now that I
it.
think of it, I was asked to go skiing on Friday.
Sounds like you should take that.
Maybe I should take that invitation. Okay, I'll look into that. But and then as far as snow totals are concerned, for what we just received, 1 inch of new snow at Beaver Creek, 2 over at Vail. That brings our season to date totals to 308 at the Beeve and 322 at Vail. And you might be wondering why I just mention this every single time I do the weather. It's because I'm wondering if we're going to make it to our 354 average. That's the average for Vail. It'd be really cool if we could make that or surpass it. We're winding down the season. We've got less than a month left, especially over at Beaver Creek. But we'll see how this turns out with this this week, and then maybe even next week we could see another 10 inches or so just to add to that season to date total. So
yeah, we had a break going on there for kind of
Yeah.
February and the beginning of March, and the snow has come back.
Yeah.
Full force.
Yes. Yep. In fact, we were saying, that phrase, march in like a lion, out like a lamb, or vice versa. We went in like a lion. I remember that day one, but I think we might go out like a lion as well as we wind down the rest of the month on Friday and March 31st. But a few things going on that we want to let you know about. We have some school productions. Last week we were talking about Mamma Mia at Battle Mountain High School with the high school players. Now we're going to have Vail Performing Arts Academy and their spring program, and they bring in kids kind of from all ages, usually from like the middle school range up to the upper school range, and so they have their Broadway review going on. And how cute to introduce these kids to the Broadway shows that they may have never seen. Maybe they've just seen the movies that have this music in there. The costuming is always top notch. Anna Scully has been putting this together. She calls the Vail Performing Arts Academy the most important stage in a child's life, for the play on the word stage, and just the development that you get and the confidence and the camaraderie that you develop when you take part in this. It's so cool. So support this. We've got a couple shows this weekend, so that's going to be a lot of fun. And $15 cash or check, $18 for a credit card, and the venue will be at the Battle Mountain High School auditorium, which is fun for these kids to get to play in such a beautiful area. That's where Mamma Mia was.
Oh, awesome stage. And I think, like you said, just such a great way to support people getting into the arts, which has such a big impact on their lives way beyond this. So
Yeah.
definitely go support it.
Oh, it definitely does. So, and bring your little kids to this. I think they'll like it too. And then Michaela Schifrin, she is done with her Jimmy Fallon tour, and she's on the Today Show. Like, she was everywhere when
Yeah.
she came back from Europe. She's going to unload those crystal globes in her house in Edwards, and then she's going to be coming to an event that'll be at Sunday at 4 p.m. This is going to be at Solaris, and she just had a record-breaking season. She broke the record with those 86 wins. She's got 87. She's got 88 actually. So there's going to be a Michaela 87th celebration going on, and so we're just happy to have her come back home. And I bet you she's happy too. Like, what a crazy year. The Olympics last year, and disappointment that she felt there, and to just come back and everything. But did you see her on Jimmy Fallon? She had this really cute Adidas,
Yes.
like a cute outfit on, and she brought out some skis and her little sneakers and everything. So yeah, we'll look for her. So that's a free event, but they're just asking that you register. I think they're just trying to see how many people are going to be there.
Absolutely. I think that's going to be a packed house.
Yeah. So that'll be at Solaris Plaza on the 2nd at 4 p.m. And then another thing going on this weekend, beer festival, okay? Although your beer would probably freeze if you went outside right now. But they're going to do a beer festival in Avon on Saturday. And it's going to be kind of right on Lake Street, right in the Nottingham Park area. And they're going to have a lot of live music. They're going to have not only beer, but wine and seltzer too.
Yeah, I think this is actually way beyond a beer festival. I've seen different descriptions depending on where you look at it. But yeah, craft beer, wine, seltzer, spirit tasting. So lots of different things, even if you're not a huge beer person. Live music. They're going to have vendors and food. And remember, the weather's going to be nicer this weekend. So I think just in time for this event, I'm going. I feel like I'm doing all the things recently.
Yeah.
Definitely a busy week. But I think it's going to be a really fun way to start to get outside and almost that transition, right? As we start to really go into more of the spring.
Yeah.
Hopefully spring snow, spring skiing as well.
I know. Hopefully we'll have good weather for this. And so there are going to be some live bands. We've got Band Camp playing at 1:30 to 3:30. And if you kind of love the great bands from the 70s, you're going to love this one. So that's what Band Camp is all about. And then we're going to have Blink 90210. So kind of a high energy 80s, 90s type of thing, a little bit of neon. You could even dress the part if you wanted to put some Zinca, on your nose or anything like that. I think that could be fun to do. And then, if you want to get, I know you're getting VIP tickets.
Yeah, the VIP tickets. The reason we chose that is because who knows what the weather is going to be. Now we know a little bit more than when I got the tickets. But there will be a tent and a little bit more availability to, I think, some special tastings and things like that. But lots of options here. I think that's always really nice. So tickets start at $45. VIP tickets are $80. If you wait until the day of the event, though, the prices will go up. So definitely one to plan ahead if you want to save a couple of dollars there.
Yeah, and you know what? They list out the breweries and wineries. And they're bringing them in. Like, we got Scotts Bluff, Nebraska coming in, Louisville, Kentucky, Delaware. And then just, of course, Dillon, Pug Ryan's Brewing Company. They've got that for you. But Paso Robles. So they're going to have a lot of different beverages from around the nation coming to check this out, and some names that nationwide and everything, but pretty cool. Just take a look at that. So that'll be on Saturday, and you could ski in the morning and then do this in the afternoon.
Yep, I think that'd be a perfect day for that. I think with the nicer weather coming in, then it's really an après, right?
Yeah.
Because you got a little of that, a few turns in the morning as well. Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Perfect. So, we have that going on, and then let me just quickly look.
Yeah. So I think we've got a little bit of info. If you haven't been to the Dinosaur Museum, so Billy Dorn, who used to be around here, I think this really just great information. Another great indoor activity for this morning if you want to maybe stay a little bit warmer. So let's check that out.
Oh, here we are. We are in the museum at Dinosaur Junction. Billy Dorn is joining us now. This has been his pet project for quite some time, and it's so cool to see this come to fruition.
Yeah.
I know you had your Fossil Posse Kids Camp going on for
Right.
a couple years, but now we actually have a place that we can visit year-round.
Yeah, absolutely, Tricia. And as you mentioned, this is a really dream come true. This museum is 12, 13 years almost in the making of a lot of bruised and battered body parts, hiking up in the hills, finding the bones of these incredible creatures. And a lot of people say, well, Billy, why did you build a museum in the high country? Well, being up in the high country, we're like an hour and a half from Denver or from Fruita. So I thought also we find so much stuff up here. I felt like it was kind of my job to take care of all these amazing treasures that nature has offered up and build something where we can all come and enjoy and learn from.
Well, and believe it or not, these kind of creatures roamed these parts. Many, Bill.
Some hundreds of millions, yes.
Yeah, I'll let you do the timing on this.
Yeah.
It's just mind-blowing about this. But it's so cool to see this and to be able to walk around and
Yeah.
really immerse yourself in this experience and think about what it would have been like.
It would have been a place you'd be on the run the whole time, pretty much. To give you an idea of timing, though, the oldest fossil I've found so far, right here in Eagle County, in fact, within a stone's throw of Edwards, is a single footprint about the size of my fingers, that big, so as to a dinosaur about the size of a turkey. And that footprint is 230 million years old. And to put some perspective on that, the Rocky Mountains are 70 million years old.
Okay.
And then this guy behind us, this is Allosaurus. He would have been about 150 million years ago. And this is the dinosaur that started it all, Tricia. I first found bones from Allosaurus, bones and footprints, back in around 2010. And that kind of got the ball rolling for me in the world of paleontology, and then it's grown basically to all of this.
Okay, and then this one, you're almost outgrowing the space here,
Yeah,
Billy.
yeah.
Look at this guy, he barely fits in this space.
And this is a small one of this type. This is called Camarasaurus. He's a member of a group of dinosaurs called the sauropods, or the long necks.
Okay.
That includes Diplodocus, Brachiosaurus, Brontosaurus, Camarasaurus, and they were truly massive. They were the biggest of the biggest. These are the earth shakers. As they walked by, the ground would have shook under our feet for sure, yeah.
I just had visions of Jurassic Park movie
Yeah,
in my head.
it's not too far off. Every time someone takes a step, the water shakes, the cars move. It would have been mini earthquakes. Some of these animals weighed upwards of 140, 150,000 pounds, which is incredible to think about that walking across the land. But they were here.
And
Their bones
eating,
prove it.
You know,
Eating up to 1,000 pounds of food every day or two. Yeah.
Okay.
And then we have, yes.
This one, your latest edition.
I want to step over here. Can I get
Okay,
in this side of you?
yeah,
So
yeah.
this is the animal, this is probably the most famous dinosaur. This, of course, Tyrannosaurus Rex, the best Hollywood agent of any dinosaur. And this little display here actually shows two of the most famous dinosaurs, Tyrannosaurus Rex, and just below it, Velociraptor, of course, made famous from the Jurassic Park movies. But one of the things we like to show in this museum, Tricia, is kind of the reality of what dinosaurs were like, and especially for kids, because sometimes nowadays with computers and movies, they can get a little skewed.
Yeah.
I get kids that think certain dinosaurs were real. It did exist. That never really existed in some of the movies. But Velociraptor, that's a full-size Velociraptor. He's only about as tall as a wild turkey. He's about 5 feet long, and that's full-grown. They weren't the size of the ones in Jurassic Park. However, we did have one here in Colorado that was the size of the ones in Jurassic Park called Deinonychus, which is scary, very scary animal.
Oh, well, and just look at the head on
Yeah.
that and the teeth.
Well, that guy had some of the biggest teeth ever found were from Tyrannosaurus Rex. In fact, the biggest one, I think, was somewhere to 12 to 14 inches long. And to give you an idea, that mouth could eat a cow in one bite. A cow.
You've got this here, too. Let's take a look.
Oh, yeah, there's a perfect look, a shot of some seriously gigantic banana-sized teeth.
Oh, wow.
And
Banana size, yeah.
Banana size. And here's something really cool. Dinosaurs grew their teeth the entire life, all the way to where they died in adulthood. Their teeth would constantly regenerate, similar to a shark, but not as dramatic as a shark. In fact, when we're digging up plant eaters like hadrosaurs, the big duck-billed dinosaurs, or Triceratops, a famous one with the horns, we often find these teeth simply lying there because they'll bite into something and rip into it, and teeth will just break out of their mouth because they're going to grow back, so they don't care.
They don't care.
They just want the food.
They don't need to visit the dentist.
No, they just
All
want
right.
the food.
But you need to visit the museum at Dinosaur Junction. You're located right in Edwards.
Right here, 1121 Edwards, right in the heart of Edwards, and we are going to continue to grow. As you mentioned, we almost have outgrown this little space, which I thought, how am I going to fill this, 6 months ago? And here we are, filled basically now. And we're going to grow and expand and bring in even bigger skeletons, truly giant, massive stuff. And our goal for this museum is to not only be a hub of science and education, especially for kids and classes, but really be like a paleontological area where people can come and study the fossils we have in Eagle County. We have so much here that that's kind of like, this has brought light to that it needs to be focused on. And so that's the goal, is to be a full-on education science center.
Okay, and best ways to follow you, websites or
Website,
social media?
dinosaurjunction.org, dinosaurjunction.org. We are an official 501c3 nonprofit, so any donations will help us grow for sure. And you'll be reading more about us, because when this snow melts, I'm going to be out there hunting. There's more and more dinosaurs to be found, more crocodiles, sharks, turtles, anything prehistoric, there's more to be found, and I'm going to get out there and find it, including Tyrannosaurus rex.
Okay, Billy, thanks so much for the tour.
Thank you.
That place is so fun. Open daily. Check it out. Go support Billy, a good friend of the station right here. So it's a cool thing. You haven't been there yet?
I have not. I was just asking Trisha on the commercial where this was, because I need to go check this out. I love the dinosaur things. You learn so much history in Colorado with dinosaurs.
It's amazing. And so it's basically, I call it Education Row. Basically, if you're coming off of Highway 6 and you turn left at the Blue Bridge, it's where Red Canyon High School is and the charter school. It's right across the bridge. And it used to be an elementary school, but it's like the family center now. They use it for offices, and that's why Billy has that space. So check it out if you're looking for something to do, maybe this morning before things warm up. And just one more last look at your weather before we say goodbye. It is going to be chilly this morning, but temperatures, believe it or not, upper 30s, low 40s, and sunshine pretty much all day long. And that's going to make all the difference, is just having that sunshine. And then we'll see the temperatures even warmer the next day. So we're going to be into maybe even the 50s by Wednesday, and then we start to kind of taper off, especially by Friday when we could see a storm, which could drop quite a bit of snow, which is, good news. We still want the moisture. And then you see that little lightning bolt. We call that thunder snow. A lot of times there can be some thunder in these springtime storms. But overnight low is not nearly as bad as we approach the weekend as well. But so just brave through it. Right now, the snow is going to be really consistent today. We could see some of that freeze-thaw cycle happening Wednesday to Thursday morning after such a warm afternoon, and then those overnight lows dropping below freezing. So just be aware it could be a little crunchy when you get out there on Thursday morning.
Yeah, and then getting into that habit maybe as we move into this more of spring skiing, of maybe waiting a little bit in the mornings, letting things soften up, and then you can enjoy the nice corn snow, which can be quite fun once you figure out how to ride it.
Yeah, and definitely have the right wax for that type of snow. And just as a reminder, we did extend the hours on Vail Mountain. So front side does close at 4 o'clock, and then back bowls at 3:30. Blue Sky Basin just a little bit before that. So that's the kind of the pattern now. And then Beaver Creek's hours have been the same all year. 8:30 in the morning, Main Mountain, so Centennial, Strawberry Park, that closes at 4. But want to thank everyone for just watching this morning, and thank everyone for liking us and any chat we got going on. So, all right, and don't forget, you can always chat with us. Let us know how cold it is where you're watching from, and we'll let you know how cold it is where we are today. But we'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for watching Vail Valley Live.
Have a great day.